world is where we think we are. If we just broaden our horizons, if we just embrace the fact that we all are connected in some way or the other, if we just embrace the different cultures, the diversities, then I think we'll be one big happy family because at the end of the day, no borders and no boundaries can divide the fact that we're all humans and we are all connected to each other. So, hello everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Renaissance with Swati. And today I have with me a very dynamic woman, Vasantha Jeyaseelan. She is the CEO and founder of Quality Minds Consultancy, as well as she is into baking, she's into digital marketing, and a myriad of things. She's based out of Malaysia, but talking to her seems like just I said, that we're all connected to each other. So, hi Vasantha, how are you doing today?
Hi, Swati. I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good too. Would you like to tell something about your journey?
Yeah, before I actually begin, thank you for having me in this session. And I really do appreciate you connecting with me. And I'm happy that I could actually take this on and to drive your passion. So,
Thank
a little bit about me. So basically, I'm actually an IT graduate, and I've been working for many organizations, for Fortune 500 organizations, and specifically deep diving into software quality assurance. So some magic actually happened in 2020. Not really the pandemic. So pandemic did happen to all of us, but
Right, right,
likewise, I think the pandemic did bring a lot of transformation change to many of us as well, right? So one of the changes that actually happened to me was my career got actually it the journey was actually just diverted. So when I say diverted, it was like a 360-degree change that actually took place. So yeah, so since we were actually in the pandemic, and just before pandemic, I quit my job, not knowing pandemic was coming. So
mm-hmm.
I quit my job for some personal reasons,
Right,
and I did
right.
some traveling. And when I came back, pandemic hit, and we all know how life was like during pandemic, right?
Of
So
course, right.
I was just going with the flow, which is what I tell many people when things are not certain, when things are so unpredictable, when stress is just going up the wall, just go with the flow because we don't know everything. We can't see the road at the end of the road.
Exactly,
Every step we
exactly.
just got to trust each step, and that is just
Right.
exactly what I did during pandemic.
Okay.
And I started exploring different things, and one of it was baking. To be honest, Swati, baking and me are poles apart. I have no knowledge on baking. Really, seriously, I have no idea how this skill came out from me.
Okay.
So
Okay.
baking just came out of it, and as I was exploring, and I think most of us were like in the locked up situation. So as I was exploring what are the things that I could do, I started exploring different recipes, and YouTube was my guru. YouTube was
Mm.
my teacher.
Right,
So I
right.
explored a lot of things, and baking, that is how baking came in the picture. And
Mm-hmm.
eventually, I just went with the flow, and here I am actually with a company. And
Right.
yeah, baking is actually one of it. So
Nice.
yeah, so with that, baking is where digital marketing came in because I need to sell my cake, right? And I don't,
Obviously.
I can't be, I can't be, yeah, I can't be doing that on a
Right,
physical shop because
right.
pandemic, right? So no one was allowed to go out,
Exactly,
even if we
exactly.
wanted to, right? So everything was in the online platform. I think
Right.
I think pandemic made it a change where it was not really an option. You have to go
Right. Of
digital,
course, of
right?
course,
Whether you
of
like it or
course.
not, you
Right,
have to actually get yourself transformed.
right.
So slowly, I actually picked up the skills of digital marketing, like designing, social
Wow.
media marketing, and yeah. So I didn't know again that I actually had this designer capacity within me,
Okay.
and that came out as well. And yeah, I guess like as I went on with the journey, and Quality Minds Consultancy was actually formed last year.
Okay.
So how that was formed, I think I've actually shared this with you, but I would actually share that with you again today. I had an opportunity to go to Mount Kailash last year.
Right.
right? So that was something not planned. It just happened, and
Right.
I went with the flow, and the divine called, and I went. And after my Kailash trip is what the thought came to me, as in, because I have a lot of passion on software testing, right? It has
Right.
been something
Right.
that I have done all my life,
Right.
and I've worked for many giant players, and I have made
Mm-hmm.
many people,
Mm-hmm.
many projects success,
Mm.
right? So the
Right.
thought came into me, why not you do this by yourself? Why do you need to work for someone, and why do you need to look
Exactly.
for a job, right? You've got X number of experience, and you are a senior
Mm.
personnel. Why don't you do it by
Right.
yourself?
Right.
So trusting that voice that actually came into me, just trusting it, and I just went along with
Yeah.
it. I
Right.
have no experience in business. I only have experience in the industry of software testing.
Right. Right.
So again, just jumped into the ocean, not knowing how to swim, and like, let's just do it. I mean,
Wow.
what worse can it happen,
Wow.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just jump
Seriously,
into the
I think
ocean. Yeah.
yeah,
And
seriously, I think since pandemic, that was what has been happening. It's like I've been just pushed into ocean, and I've been just pushed further into deep sea, and pushed further where you actually have all the sharks and whales and everything, and
but still
you
you're
just
like
got
just
to trust
swimming.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And here you don't even know how to swim. That was another thing, right? So you are
Mm.
in the ocean not knowing how to swim, and you've got all these forces that's actually trying to attack
Right.
you, and just trusting the process and trusting the wave, like, because basically the wave is what just pushed me and
Exactly.
pulled me through in terms of whatever
Right.
that I needed to do. Yeah. So I mean, in a nutshell, I've just went along with the flow, right? In the beginning,
Yeah.
I was,
Right.
yeah, in the beginning, I was actually reacting as to, why is this not happening? What is
Mm-hmm.
happening to my life? Why has suddenly my life become standstill? Why is
Mm-hmm.
God doing this to me? I had all the whys all on my head.
Exactly.
Like,
Why
how
me?
can this happen to my life? Why me exactly? Out of so many other things, why
Right.
suddenly a
Right.
pause in my career?
Right.
But actually, to tell you the truth, I actually always wanted to be an entrepreneur. But
Wow.
it is just that I never had the capacity, because we all know, once we are in
Exactly.
our employment, once we are into
Exactly.
our work, we
Exactly.
are sucked into 100%,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
There's
Understand.
no any other way that you can actually possibly have
Totally.
to actually run a business.
I think
And
everyone
what
would
was I
relate to
even think
that. Yeah.
exactly? And what was I actually thinking of trying to do, trying to juggle both, which didn't happen,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I
So
understand.
I guess, yeah. So I guess God answered my prayers, just that He didn't tell me that this is His plan, and just suddenly
Right.
made a twist in my career, and brought this entrepreneurship into the picture,
Nice.
which was
Nice.
what I have been actually desiring for the longest of
Nice.
time.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
So it is just that
I think universe has its own ways of bringing things to us which we are actually meant for. We don't know when it will come. We don't know how it will come, but somehow it comes. Like you said, you just jumped into the ocean and with all the sharks and whales, you were just there and you didn't even know how to swim. But then I think the life jacket was your confidence, you know, that the waves will take you to the shore. You were confident enough. You didn't just quit. Didn't say that, I cannot do it. You just believed in yourself. I think that is what is important if we want to start something on our own.
yeah, nailed on. I think believing in yourself is 200% yes, and also having faith that things will work out. Because if you have something that you want to do, if you don't try, you never know, right?
Yes.
You don't want to be in a situation where you regret, I should have done this.
Right,
Along the
right,
line,
right.
when either like when you retire, or one fine day
Mm.
when you sit down and have your cup of coffee, and you say, "Chah, I should have done that. I should have done
Yeah.
this."
There should be
There
no
shouldn't be a
regrets.
moment.
Right.
Yeah, there shouldn't
Yeah.
be a moment where you should actually have any regrets. Is what I actually believe in. Whatever
Yeah.
that you feel like doing, just do it. I mean, whichever way, failures would actually hit you regardless of which journey you take, right? And
But
failures are not really, failures are really not really, I wouldn't say failures are something to stop you, but failures
Mm-hmm.
are actually something to teach you for your growth.
Okay.
You learn through
Right, right,
failures,
right,
right?
right. That
Whenever
I understand.
you
Yeah.
can't, you can't expect a journey full
Ex-
success. I mean, oh
Exactly.
wow, if you really come across anyone who never had any failures, I really want to
Exactly.
see this person,
Exactly.
because failures are actually part and parcel of life,
Right.
right? We go through, whether it's in personal or in career,
Mm-hmm.
we there are always ups and downs. It is just
But
that when
yeah, I believe whatever you're saying is absolutely correct. But like you said that, when we sit back and we feel that, we should not be having any regrets in our life. But like you said, when we get into something and we're just hustling day in and day out, at the end of the day, you know, uh, even if you regret, it is very difficult to make that decision that I want to leave this particular thing and go ahead with something that I will not regret, that something that I would cherish forever. So, was it a difficult decision for you as well?
it was not a difficult decision, but it was a difficult journey.
Okay,
Right, the journey was tough. The
okay,
decision was,
okay,
I mean, decision is just a peanut decision. You just decide, okay, I want to do it, and you just do
okay.
it. But the journey was tough, and it's still tough. I wouldn't say that
Mm-hmm,
it's a bed of roses, right?
mm-hmm.
It is completely different from employment, completely different.
Okay,
And I mean, when we are employed, when we are an employee, regardless of what stress you go through, you still get your paycheck at the end of the month,
exactly,
right? No
exactly.
matter what you go through, it's all about money at the end of the day, right?
Right,
It's
of
about
course,
it's about fitness and survivors,
of
and we
course.
all have commitments. So it is just that individual passion. You actually have passion to do different things, different
Mm-hmm.
way, and some are just being very ambitious in in venturing into many other
Right,
things. So
right,
it is just that I guess it's driving your passion regardless of which journey it takes you through,
mm-hmm.
because
Right, right,
you cannot be expecting the same journey until the end of your life and expecting you to fulfill all your passion, which I don't think so would actually
right,
happen. Right. Right. So there
right.
would definitely be journeys that are completely different, that you have not traveled on, that are like that may be dark, that may have no lights, you can't see what's actually ahead. So I suppose the decision was an easy decision,
Okay.
but the journey was not easy. It
So
is
when there was no
so as you
light
say,
ahead, just like you said, when
there
there is
was
no
no
light
light,
ahead, yeah,
and there was some times where I actually paused and I was like asking, Vasantha, what are you doing? Like, are you really sure you're going? Are you really sure you want to do this? It's still
right,
not too late, you know. I think probably we can stop and like just make a U-turn and go back to where we started. So I did have those conversations. I should
right,
be honest, right? I actually
okay,
had those days where I was like,
mm,
should I not? Would
right,
this work? But somehow the inner voice in me said, no, you'll be fine, just keep going, just keep going, right? So
wow,
i
wow,
trusted I trusted that the inner voice, and on top of all, I trusted God. I still do trust God, right? I
right,
believe
right,
that everything that happens to us, it's all for a reason, whether
mm-hmm,
it's positive or negative. And eventually, when I came out of that pandemic zone and where I am today, when I look back, I actually thank God. I'm glad you
right,
actually brought a change in my career, because
right,
there was some management change, which is why I actually quit my job,
mm-hmm,
right? So
mm-hmm,
if that change did not happen, if I didn't feel discomfort in my career,
right,
I wouldn't
right,
have taken that logical break. I would have just
exactly,
gone on, right? And I was in a good
exactly,
role, good salary. I was actually a HOD. Life was
right,
good, right? So
okay, okay,
there was no reason why I need to quit the job.
right, right,
Right.
right,
Yeah. So
that's
I always
wonderful,
tell this to people, like, when you are going through something uncomfortable, it's a good sign, because change is actually happening. There's some
okay,
change that's actually in the
okay,
pipeline,
okay,
right?
wow,
You can't be going through a smooth journey and expecting some change to happen. You've got to do
exactly,
something different in order
right.
to expect something different to come up, right?
Exactly. That's
Change,
so
yeah.
powerful. Yeah. Because we are all in our own shells, like we're all in our own comfort zones, and moving out of the comfort zone is not easy. We all think that, will I be able to? We all start doubting ourselves, start questioning ourselves, would we be able to make it
Right,
back to the end of the road? Because like you said, there is no candle out there, there is no light out there which is guiding
right.
you. Only if you know your inner voice, only if you have faith on your inner voice and the universe and the God, only then you would be able to travel till the end of the road.
Exactly, exactly. So I guess to a far extent, meditation has actually helped me and guided me because I get a lot of message through meditation.
Okay.
I get a
Okay.
lot of insights, ideas. Like,
Okay.
how do I know? I
Okay.
don't know. They just tell me and I just do it,
Okay.
right? Who are the
Nice.
they is this power around us, right? So I get a lot of inspirations. I get a lot of new ideas in my meditation. So
Mm-hmm.
how do I probably another thing would be how do I actually juggle all of this and how do I actually
Mm-hmm.
manage
Right. Work-life
um
balance. Right.
yeah,
Because you're
work
doing
life
so
balance
many
and
things, right? Baking also, within Quality Minds also, digital marketing, then meditation, then traveling. How do you juggle between all these things and still maintain the work-life balance, still maintain your inner peace?
I would definitely say meditation because there are certain days when I feel, oh wow, I'm like the superwoman. I've got all the energy on in this entire universe. I've got all this energy. There are
Right.
certain days when I feel, oh God, why have you sucked out all my energy? I don't have anything left, right? So my battery is like completely low, right? So
Right.
I do
Right.
go through all of that. We all go through that, right? We are all made of our
Right.
energy, right? We
Right.
do
Right.
fluctuate in terms of energy,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Many factors either contributes or drains our
Mm-hmm.
energy, right? So how do we keep that balance? Either when we see people, when we speak to
Mm-hmm.
people, when we go to places, it
Mm-hmm.
affects our energy, whether we
Exactly.
believe it or
Exactly.
not, right?
Exactly.
So,
Whomever we are
so
talking to
I
affects our
suppose,
energy. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we
Right.
always have this exchange of energies that's actually naturally happening without we
Exactly.
realizing. Like even
Exactly.
when I'm talking to you now, there's a positive energy that's actually happening,
Hmm.
right? When
Hmm.
you go to places
Right.
like funerals, graveyards,
Right.
you don't
Right.
get positive
Right.
energies, right?
Right.
So
Right. Right.
likewise, many places that we go, many people we interact with, it affects us in a way or other. So if we
Exactly.
don't do anything about like the imbalances that we feel, right? If we don't like for example, when you start having feverish, and if you
Mm-hmm.
don't do anything about it, you are just going to be it's just going to
Exactly.
get worse, and then you need to go and see a
Exactly.
doctor and
Exactly.
antibiotics and whatever not, right? So same thing. I suppose like in terms of imbalances that we feel, like since I know meditation and I actually do meditation in terms of to keep myself in balance,
Mm-hmm.
right? So apart from getting ideas, I do keep it
Nice.
like I do actually put it like it has become like a way of life for me, right?
Wow.
Just like how we have shower every day.
Right.
So a day without
Right.
meditation, I feel not so nice. It's like a day you have not had your shower kind of a feeling,
I understand.
right?
I
So
can
yeah, that
completely resonate.
basically, I actually practice Saja Yoga meditation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it actually, well, I have been in this meditation since 1999,
Wow.
and yeah, well,
So,
it again,
I
it
just wanted
actually
to
just
ask,
came,
yeah, I just wanted to ask about the
yeah.
same thing, right? Like you mentioned that you are into Sahaj yoga, meditation. So how did it come to you? How did you actually realize that you are someone who want to go into this zone? And like you also said that you also impart the meditation to others as well. So how did this whole meditation come into your life, and how you started helping others also with this?
I believe when things are there or when the timing is right, things happen naturally, right? Probably I must have been a seeker, right? I didn't go out looking for a meditation to be honest. I never went out, okay, I need meditation, I'm stressed, I need some reda. I
Okay.
didn't do any of that. So my mom introduced me to Sahaj, like where I lived
Mm-hmm.
at in 1999, where I lived there
Mm-hmm.
was this meditation class that was also been organized nearby,
Mm-hmm.
right? Very
Mm-hmm.
nearby. So my mom actually somehow she found out that there's such a class happening in the area that I live.
Right.
And so and she knows that I don't simply practice anything. I don't just simply blindly do anything.
Okay.
So she was
Okay.
skeptical, but she said, hey, there's something around where you live.
Right.
You can go and try. Before
Mm-hmm.
I could actually like ambush on her, she said, it's free and you just try it. If you don't like it, you can stop it. So she gave me the option and she gave me the
Right.
solutions as well.
Right.
And she
Right.
just she just threw the ball on my court and she said, just go and try it. If you like it, you continue. If not, you
Right.
just stop it.
Right.
No harm in
Right.
trying.
Exactly.
So that's how meditation started for me. So I went and it just stuck. I didn't have any doubt. I believe that probably it was my time for me to actually get into the journey and have a proper guidance in terms of a compass, because I
Okay.
take meditation, I
Okay.
take Sahaj as like a compass. Like it actually
Okay.
guides you and it gives you the whatever balance that you need, the knowledge that you need to be able to help yourself and also to be able to help people around you, right?
Okay.
So yeah,
Right. Right.
I've actually started then, and all I have seen is transformations and transformations and transformation, because the Vasantha then was a very shy person. Can you
Okay.
beat that? I mean, yeah, I mean, when
Yeah.
I reflect and when I look at the older version, the
Right.
younger version, the naive version of me, I used to be very, very shy. I
Okay.
used to be scared of to talk to guys, and
Okay.
that kind of
Right.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. So you're surprised as well. So
So
that
it
was
was
the
how
kind
many
of a
years
person
back?
I was.
How many years
That
back?
was like, oh wow, that was like 20 over years,
Oh,
20
okay.
yeah, 20 over years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So many people actually say, no, I'm not ready for meditation. I'm not old. So they actually
Mm-hmm.
tag meditation to age. Actually, to be honest, the younger you start, the better it is, because you would be able to mold yourself. You would be able to do whatever changes required
Right.
and have a
Right.
more fulfilling life. And at least you would be able to have a soulful life. Like you do
Exactly.
what you want to do, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, it just actually
Yeah.
happens to you, I suppose. If you have been having that desire, it just comes to you at the right time and they just select you and it just
Nice.
happens naturally,
Nice.
spontaneously.
Nice. So when you empower meditation to others, how do you feel about it,
It is so
empowering
joyful.
others, right?
It is so joyful. It's beyond words. You can't actually express words in terms of the joy that one feels when you actually I call it like you pass the light on, right? So you are here an enlightened soul, right?
Right.
And you are trying to pass the light
Right.
on
Right.
and like create the spark in other souls as well. And the joy that I get of doing that, because all
Right.
of us who are actually doing this, it's all basically from a volunteer basis. No one
Right.
forces us,
Right.
no one
Right.
tells us to do it. It's just that we
Right.
just feel whatever is benefiting us, why
Mm-hmm.
not share? If it
Exactly.
can help
Right.
another person, why not do it, right? So
Exactly. At least one more
so
person, if
that's
it can help, then what's the harm in it?
exactly
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly because in the era that we live in these
Mm-hmm.
days, especially these days, stress is something very commonly heard,
Right.
right?
Right.
Stress is like it's like a bouncing ball everywhere.
Understood.
How do
Yeah.
people manage stress is another thing. Do people know how to
Exactly.
manage stress is a completely different story altogether, right?
So,
Many people,
right.
yeah, many people may not know how to handle stress, and that is where the wrong decisions comes in place. That's where the wrong execution comes in, and depression and like worst
Right.
case scenario, like
Right.
yeah, that's
Exactly.
where it
Exactly.
actually gets into
Exactly.
too, because you
So,
don't know how to handle this,
exactly.
right?
You don't know,
Yeah,
we don't know how to handle it. That is the whole
yeah,
problem. So you empowering others, it's a beautiful thing, right? You're passing that light on, and you're passing one light spreads to another and then to another, and then it lights up the whole area. So you also mentioned that you help the women empowerment issues and underprivileged
yes,
kids as well. No? So you are a
Yes.
lot into social activities as well, social helping, right? Would you like to
Yeah.
tell more?
So I actually do have a lot of passion to not only to actually help people who are in need, but also there's a lot of there's a heavy passion in me to empower women, especially
Okay,
the women community,
okay,
right?
okay,
Why I say so
okay.
is because many out there for some reason, they don't feel that they are capable. They don't
Okay.
feel that they can do whatever that they are doing without the support that they
Mm-hmm.
need from
Mm-hmm.
either, it could be from any individual, whether it's their father, let's
Right,
not bring parents, probably your spouse or whoever, right?
right,
So,
right.
yeah, right. So, and also sometimes I would say the situation and the environment that
Mm-hmm.
that people are in also
Mm.
does not cultivate that thought process that
Right.
you can actually you are there to you also have a dream, you also have
Exactly.
your passion, you can
Exactly.
also fly. No one
Exact.
actually no one actually does that, right? So unless and until you have that ability, you actually do that. But
Right.
unfortunately, where ladies are concerned, they juggle so many other things, right?
True.
Either mother, and then if they've got
Mm.
kids, and then they've got to manage kids, and then they've got to manage the entire household stuff, cooking,
Exactly.
cleaning,
Right.
and
Right.
if career as well, right? And career is the entire thing itself is a big stress.
Exactly.
It's a big
Exactly.
stress ball, right?
Exactly.
And on top of that, you've got all these other stress balls that you're also juggling: family, commitment,
Exactly.
finance, children,
Exactly.
education, um,
Exactly.
cleanliness of the
Right.
house, and and maintaining the balance of the family,
Exactly.
right? So
Exactly.
many, I mean, these are the things that either if you know how to do it, well and
Mhm.
good, you are a superwoman, right? You can actually get it done. But many of them battle it alone, and many of them don't actually voice out, and they just keep it within themselves, and they don't.
Being a superwoman, this is highly, I think they all say that, you are a superwoman, you can do this, you can do that, you can handle everything. But if you go and ask us women standing out there that, are you a superwoman? She'll say, no, I need a break out of it.
Exactly, exactly. So it's like, can someone just take my power off and let me be a normal woman before I can be a superwoman
Exactly.
kind of a feeling, right? So yeah,
Right.
sometimes you just feel, can I just transition my powers away for a moment, and like, can I just take a breather?
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
unfortunately, it doesn't happen. You just have to go on. So I suppose when women actually just keeps in within them for the longest of time, you just suppress this feeling. You keep suppressing, suppressing, suppressing,
Right.
and
Right.
that also that actually demotivates you. That actually impacts your self confidence, your
Mm-hmm.
your everything, your confidence,
Right.
and
Right.
everything else,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
that is where I actually like to help women, like to say, you can do this as well, this is how you can
Okay.
do. And
Okay.
like, at the end of the day, you just need to show them, and you just need to connect them to wherever that they need
Right.
the connection,
Right.
right? And they would be able to navigate it there on. You just
Wow.
need to have that connection from A to B. Okay, now, right? And then
Yeah.
they are intelligent creatures created by God, right?
Exactly.
So you just do that connection, and they would know how to maneuver the vehicle
Wow.
thereafter. So yeah,
Wow.
so I like doing that. And every time when these girls or ladies, when they pass through that stage, and then when they turn around and when they thank you,
Right.
that's like
Wow.
something money can't buy, right? Because you
Exactly.
have actually changed someone's
Exactly.
life, you have actually contributed to a happiness, or someone's dream,
I
to for them to
understand.
be able to yeah,
Right. Yeah. There's so many women out
yeah.
there. When I just go and talk to them, in fact, men also, if I just go and talk to them and I just go beyond the simple meets and greets highs, then they actually start telling about themselves, the issues that they're going on. And simply by talking to them, I'm able to get that, pain out of them, because sharing pain makes it lighter, right? So
Mm.
even just talking to them makes them feel so lighter and makes them feel so good, and makes me feel good that, at least 0.1% I was able to help them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you would have had situations where you were also down, right? When you are
Exactly.
down, and when talking to somebody helps you to uplift your spirit as well, to
Exactly.
uplift your energy
Exactly.
as well, right? So at the end of the day, it's all about energy, right? So it's how you actually balance off. Either when you are down, you actually speak to someone to be able to offload this, and
Mhm.
it just
Right.
comes out of you. You
Right.
just need to get it out of your chest. Whether another person is able to help you or not, that's a different story. But at least you are there for a person as a, as a voice that someone can actually just. You just need to
Exactly.
be a listener sometimes. Sometimes
Exactly.
the best solution you can be is just be a listener. People may not want a solution.
Right.
People
Right.
just want someone to listen them out, like
Exactly.
hear me out, right? So
Right.
unfortunately, yeah,
Right.
unfortunately, you don't get people who listen without giving their own ways. Okay,
Judgments.
I think you should do this, you should do that.
Exactly.
I mean, sometimes you just don't want to hear for a solution. You
Exactly.
know what to do, you know the solution,
Exactly.
but you just
Exactly.
need someone, just listen, just hear me out kind of a feeling,
That's so
right?
true,
So
so true. Yeah. Because I
yeah,
personally, when I am down and if I talk to someone and they start giving me suggestions, in my head, I'm like, I already know the solutions. It's just that right now
exactly.
I'm feeling so low that I just want to talk it out, I just want someone to hear me out and I just want to vent it out to someone. So it's really wonderful what you're
Exactly.
doing. So, you do it as your passion, right? Not as a profession, or is it also a part of your profession?
No, it's just a passion. I don't do it as a profession. My professions are quality minds and baking and digital marketing. That's my profession. Apart from that, all this meditation, social works that I actually do, and women empowerment,
Right,
and
right.
all these things that I actually do is just out of passion. Like
That's
sometimes I
wonderful.
just know these people, and sometimes your heart tells. Sometimes my heart says, "Okay, I think she needs this help. Why not you actually go and approach her and like kind of talk?"
Okay,
So
nice,
this is what like you
nice.
you you would be able to connect. You would be
Hmm.
able to feel as a meditator. I can sense
Wow.
certain things, and we all
Right.
would be able to sense it, right? So when
Mm-hmm.
when your intuition already tells you, and you don't go and try to help things out, and then when you hear things which are not too good, and you
Right,
don't want to live in regret that you could have helped, right?
right,
Yeah.
right,
So
right, right.
yeah, so that's where I actually I try to help wherever that I can, because at the end of the day
That's
we are all being judged, right?
exactly.
So we are all being
We
judged when
exactly.
yeah, we are here on a part-time basis, I would say. This is not our full-time job to be here, right?
Of
We
course,
are
of
all here.
course.
We all have an entry pass and an exit pass. It is it
Right.
is how we actually what we do and how we actually contribute back to the society helps. And I think it carries a lot of weight in terms of whatever that we are actually
Right.
doing, for
Right.
our exit pass. So yeah, we are all here with the same purpose. We all are born, and one day we all will die, right? So it is how we live our life, how many hearts we touch, how many contributions we have actually made, and what are the good things
Nice.
what good
Nice.
deeds that you have actually done,
Nice.
that
Nice.
really really actually matters at the end of the day. It's not how much you earn, and
Exactly.
how much you have in your bank. That, to me, it is important, but that is not primarily important, like for your soul, right? So yeah.
Exactly. I understand, because we all are like, money is the most important factor. Yes, money is important. We cannot deny the fact money is needed. But at the end of the day, what matters is, like you said, how many hearts you touch, how many hearts we are connecting to, how many people we are able to help just by small gestures. It's not making big donations or, go joining big NGOs,
Exactly.
but simply by your way of
Exactly.
living, how many people are you able to help? How many hearts are you able to heal simply by connecting with them? And that is so, so powerful. So that is wonderful, Vasanta. So, like you said, you travel to roads less traveled. Like you started your own businesses, you started your passions into meditation and helping women. And you also said that you have a passion of traveling around, right? And you also mentioned Mount Kailash. So Mount Kailash, I believe, is a very tough place to go, and because the temperature difference is quite the low temperature is quite low at the top of Mount Kailash, and very few people make it to Kailash. So how was that journey?
To be honest, when I had this calling, when I had shift calling, I didn't know where he was calling me to. All I knew he was calling me. So I was like wondering, Dad, where are you calling me? Where do I need to go? So I thought,
Right.
okay, Ganga might be the place that I
Mm-hmm.
need to go. But it didn't happen. So again, I just went with the flow, and my shift calling started with
Okay.
Varanasi. So I actually went to Varanasi.
Okay.
So, and I went to Varanasi, and after Varanasi, I went to Nepal. And
Okay.
in Nepal also, you actually have Shiv temples over there. So I went
Mm-hmm.
to Nepal. In Nepal, I was connected to people for Kailash. So
Okay.
that is how my
Nice.
journey was actually connected. So when I don't know when the sister actually was talking about Kailash, and she presented me a keychain from Kailash. She said, "I don't
Okay.
know. I just feel like I need to give this to you." She just
Mm-hmm.
said that, and she gave that to me. And we have never met before. That was the
Okay.
first time we are meeting.
Okay.
And I saw this keychain, the bell kind of a keychain that was hanging on a handbag, and I just took it. It kind of attracted me. And she just took
Nice.
and gave it to me, right? So that is how I was actually drawn to Kailash.
Wow.
And Kailash is a magic. I would actually say it is just magic.
Right.
I don't have words to actually describe Kailash, because at the end of the day, I would actually say fitness does not make you be able to complete your trekking in Kailash, because you can be the most fit person, you
Okay.
can be an athletic and
Okay.
whatever not, but
Right.
it does not make you be able to complete it. It is, at the end of the day, it is your faith. It is your faith and your devotion and your connection. Because there were many times that I said, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's it, I give up, I can't do this,
Right. Right.
right? So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
so and it is that faith and devotion that just pull me through. And there were
Wonderful.
many magical moments where someone just comes out of nowhere and just helps you out. So yeah, Kailash was just a
Nice.
magic. And after
Nice.
Kailash, many magical moments just took place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, talking about the magical moments, Vasantha, you also said that, you have a passion of traveling and explore various cultures of different places. So, would you like to first tell me something about Malaysian culture? Because, Malaysia as a country is very diverse, and I would really like to know something about Malaysian culture.
Malaysia is a beautiful country. Apart from the culture, I think every country has its own beauty, right? The thing about Malaysia is that it's so diverse in culture that it's like you are visiting different countries, but in the same country, kind of a feeling.
Okay,
Like
nice,
it's like I'm visiting China, I'm visiting Indonesia, and I'm visiting India, but I'm still in the same country. That's the kind of feeling, right? So
nice,
because we actually
nice.
have three major religions, like
Mm-hmm.
Hinduism, and then you
Mm-hmm.
actually have Islam, and you actually have
Okay,
the Chinese Buddhist
okay,
as well, right?
okay,
So
okay.
so you actually have a diversified culture, and then belief systems,
Right.
and food. You actually we are just been pampered with so much of various food. I tell you, the amount of
Nice.
options that we get here is like you just never get bored of, or you just
Wow.
never get tired of eating. Because if today you feel like eating Indian, you go and eat Indian. Tomorrow you
Mm-hmm.
feel like eating Thai, you eat Thai, and you actually have the flavors of everything. It's
Wow.
like the entire universe is in Malaysia, kind of a feeling. So it's a
Wow.
food paradise. Yeah,
Right.
it's a food
Right.
paradise, and you get food 24 hours around the clock, which is not
Oh,
good.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, which is not good, because sometimes you actually see people at 2, 3 o'clock also still eating. So anytime you go to a restaurant, you
Okay.
always see people eating.
Wow.
Why do they eat? How do they eat at that time? I don't know, but they just eat, right? And there are a lot of each state is unique by itself, right? So
Okay,
you
okay.
so yeah, so each state has its own unique characters, has its own value
Mm-hmm.
system, has its
Right,
own
right, right,
signature dishes, right? So
right.
has their own kind of dialects as well. So
Okay,
I
okay.
suppose you have to visit Malaysia and please stay longer and
Right.
enjoy the hospitality of Malaysian culture.
Okay.
And you should enjoy the food because I don't think so. I've heard anyone traveling to Malaysia and saying that I don't like their food. I suppose you got to be prepared to come and put on some weight here
Wow.
because this is it is just going to spoil you to the core. Yeah.
Okay, that
And
was
I
really
think
wonderful. Yeah,
Malaysia is actually a good place where from which angle is like you learn to respect different cultures under the same umbrella,
right,
right?
right,
So you
right.
are under the same country, you are under the same government, but you've got so many other religions as well.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you learn how to respect one another's belief system and not stepping on each other's space.
Right,
And at the
right.
same time, we are here living under the same umbrella kind of a thing. So it's a multicultural country.
Nice.
We've got leaves for every single thing. So you got public holidays because for Hari Raya you actually have that. Diwali you get that. For Chinese New Year you get leave. So yeah, who
That's
would complain,
wonderful.
right? So yeah, so
Yeah,
it's a good blend of many things I would say. So Malaysia is a it's like Forrest Gump, they said it's like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get, kind of a thing,
wow.
right? So yeah, you just never
Nice.
know where you go and what you're going to get in Malaysia. So it's diverse in that manner. So you should come, you should
Definitely.
experience the culture, you should experience the hospitality, the food, and make sure you don't come during rainy season because you don't want to be stuck in the hotel and just looking at the city and not being able to go out.
Of
So
course,
yeah,
right.
plan your trip and do let me know. And I hope I'm here when you come as well. So
Definitely,
I'll be happy to
definitely.
take you around.
And I'll plan a longer trip and definitely looking forward to meeting to you in person. Plus, like you said, stay for longer duration and explore everything, explore every cuisine out there. Don't miss out on anything.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful. So you also have a passion of traveling, like you said, you travel to India, you travel to Nepal and other countries as well. So how do you find and mingle with those cultures, as being a Malaysian, when you travel to other countries, say when you travel to India, one of the incidents I remember you telling that, somebody confused you as an Indian.
They always do. They always do. And like every time I travel to India, be it south or north or any part of India, and especially north, south is not so bad because I speak Tamil, right? So south I don't
Okay.
get much chronic cases. But in north, when I actually travel to Mumbai or Delhi, and people think that I am just one of them and they start talking in Hindi. And
Nice.
when I just stand there not having any reactions, they give me the body language that how rude can she be? I'm talking to her and she's not even acknowledging.
Right.
I actually had this one situation where
Okay.
we were at the shoe rack and this auntie
Mhm.
was like, I think she was trying, if I could understand what she was trying to say, she was like trying to ask me to take her shoes or asking
Right.
me to move. And obviously I couldn't respond because I didn't
Right.
know how to speak, right? So I was
Mhm.
just standing and just looking at her, and she was like giving me this body language. Girl, don't you know how manners is? Like, and I'm like, oh my God, auntie, I don't. And then I actually know a little bit of Hindi.
Mhm.
So I said, auntie, Hindi malum nahi. And she went, Hindi malum nahi? And she was like looking me up and down. I said, nahi, auntie, Hindi malum nahi. And she was like going on saying something. And then the local had to come in the picture and
Right.
explain. And then I had to explain. Then they all tell me, but you look like an Indian. I said, yes, I look like an Indian, but I'm born in
Right.
Malaysia. And in Malaysia, then I've got to give them my education system about Malaysia. So
Right. Right.
that
Right.
always that
That's
always
wonderful.
happens. I think that confusion not only happens in India. Everywhere I go, it's like, you're not from India? I said, no, I'm not from India.
Right.
I'm from Malaysia. But you look like an Indian. I said, yes, I am an Indian, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Malaysian Indian. So yeah, I think it's
Right.
just a stigma. It's just a label that all probably all the Indians like either from Singapore, Malaysia,
Mm-hmm.
because
Right.
we are born
Exactly.
right. So people who
Mm-hmm.
are born on this side,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
when we travel around the world, and when we also look like one of you guys, and
Exactly.
many people will be like, how can you say you're not an Indian kind of a thing? And I'm like, and some of them have actually told me, you don't look like a Malaysian. So I actually asked them, how does a Malaysian look like? Yeah, so I have all these funny moments when I
Right.
travel, like when people actually perceive me of something else, which
Right.
and yeah,
I think
it's
when
just funny.
people just ask us that, are you not a Malaysian or are you not an Indian or for that matter, of any country? I think the perfect answer will be, I'm just a part of you. I'm just like you. So why to divide it with the country's names?
The question that I posed back to them is that how does a Malaysian look like? Because they all say you don't look like Malaysian. So I'm like curious. So how does a Malaysian look like? If someone can explain to me and tell me
Nice.
how a Malaysian looks like, maybe I can try to be a Malaysian. So yeah, so
That's wonderful.
I guess that happens everywhere I go. Everyone would actually mistake me as an Indian from India. And I mean that doesn't really matter.
Mhm.
It doesn't really
Right.
bother me. But I always have a good laugh every time when I actually travel, and when I have this kind of conversations
Right.
with people.
Right.
It also gives me a reason to talk to them, and it kind of breaks
Exactly.
the ice, and
Exactly.
you
True.
kind of have a conversation going,
Right.
right? So
Right.
with a doubt, actually, it triggers a conversation, and that actually takes on. Yeah,
I think that keeps brings us back to the whole point that I was telling in the beginning, right? World is where we are. If we are all just connected in one way or the other, whether we are in any country, we are born in some country, we are living in somewhere else, and we are talking to various people around. But then, and even though we do not know their language, we know the body languages. Just like you said, you could understand the body languages. So we all can communicate with each other, even though the language barrier is there,
exactly.
but we can communicate with each other using the body languages, just like our great ancestors, just use body language in the end, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Right.
Like when I went to China, for example, right,
Mm-hmm.
to in order to go to Kailash, I went to Chengdu, and that was my first trip to China as well. And I have no idea how I survived, because basically I don't speak
Mm-hmm.
Chinese,
Right.
and not everyone in China can speak English.
Of
So
course.
many a times what we did was we had the phone, we do Google Translate, and we show, nah, this is it.
Right.
And then you need to order, you need to eat, you need to do something, and not all
Right.
the time a tour guide is with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm.
have to find a living also, right? You have to
Right.
actually survive.
Right.
So I think I like that flavor of traveling, where you don't only travel to your comfort zone kind of places. You
Okay.
kind of like
Okay.
spread your wings and go beyond, and explore the untapped areas, and
Right.
don't shy away from areas where you feel intimidated. I think
Okay.
everyone should
Okay.
just go. I mean, what worse can happen? Nothing, right? You just
Exactly.
need to find somehow
Exactly.
or other. You just need to find some way to ask them for food. Eventually, you need to eat,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. And in today's
So
world, when technology is all around, when we have for phones to translate everything, I don't think that should
yeah,
be any
so
problem here.
the the fear factor should be removed, and you should just go and enjoy the culture, enjoy the language, and enjoy the simplicity, because many places that I went, I'm amazed by how simple life
Wow.
is, how simple. I think we were all simple once upon a time, and we got ourselves complicated, and we got ourselves sophisticated, and we got
Right,
ourselves into this complex world,
right,
when we
right.
were one day before we were a simple
Mm-hmm.
person as well, right?
Exactly,
So when
exactly.
I travel, and when I see how simple life is, wow, and then I was like, wow, so nice. Life is like so stress free. They don't even have TV, they don't have anything.
Right,
It's like
right.
how they, like when you go to the
Mm-hmm.
villages, and when you see
Mm.
lives in the villages,
Right,
it's like, oh
right.
wow,
right.
So it's a very relaxing thing just to
Exactly.
experience and just to
Exactly.
actually see that sight, right? So
Exactly.
I guess the grass always looks greener on the other side. They look
I-
at the city life and probably
Exactly.
they may think you guys are really lucky, and we are here. Oh wow, you guys are like so
Exactly.
stress free, right? It's always
And
the
you have
grass is
greenery all
always
around,
greener.
right? We are just
Yeah,
stuck in
the
the
grass
corporate,
always.
bricks all around, and they are surrounded by
Yeah,
grass all around. So yeah, the grass is
yeah.
greener, always seems greener on the other side. Yeah, very true. So Vasanta, lastly, what would be your takeaway or your advice for everyone who's listening to this podcast?
I would actually like to advise, or not to say advice. I mean, I don't want to use that big word advice. I would actually like to give a friendly sharing so that I think what everyone should do is just go with the flow, right? There could be times that
Mm-hmm.
life may not give you what you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
There could be
Right.
times where you may not understand what's happening in your life.
Mm-hmm.
There could be times where even your best friend could turn against you, right? There could be
Mm-hmm.
many times where you would just be isolated,
Right.
right? But
Right.
at any time, however life molds you or brings you to
Mm.
whichever zone that it
Right.
takes you to, always trust that you are where you are meant to be, right?
Wow.
So yeah,
Nice.
it's always a transition. We are always on the flow. We are always in the move, going to a place, going to a destination where we are
Right.
destined to be. The
Right.
journey may
Right.
not be
Right.
an easy journey. The journey may not be a journey that we understand. It's not like a project plan. We have a start date and end date and we have it all
Right.
clear. So
Right.
just trust the journey. But I would also strongly tell people not to forget to enjoy life,
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
earning money is important, but just earning money is not good. So
True. True.
even if you are
Right.
being, whether you have been employed or whether you're an entrepreneur or whatever bucket you belong to, you should always pause, breathe, travel, or if you don't like traveling, just go out, just have that moment for yourself. Apart from your family time, you should have your own
Right.
self time, your
Right.
own me time, right? you
Right.
should you should
Right.
spend time with yourself. At the end of the day, it's only you who's going to go through this life. You could
Exactly.
have people around you, you could have your
Exactly.
family and friends around you, but it is only you who's going to pull yourself
True.
through in whatever situation, right?
True.
So spend more time with yourself, spend time with your loved ones, and just be prepared for the unexpected is what I
Wow.
can actually say, because
And
um,
right.
change is not an easy journey. Change is not easy, but I think we will make it more difficult when we don't embrace change, when we don't accept that life is meant to be in this way, when we live in denial,
Right.
is where
Right.
we actually
Right.
add the burden on. So just go with the
Exactly.
flow, breathe, relax, enjoy,
That's
and like spend that time for yourself and with your family. Earn as much as you earn, you spend as well, and you enjoy life.
right. That's wonderful advice, because we're all going through this journey. And like you said, that it's our own journey. There are people around us, but in the end, the start, the end is only ours. And we are traveling this journey. So we should be happy. We should be enjoying this journey with all the things around, doing whatever we are doing, but at least learn to enjoy lives and be
Exactly.
happy. That is what will help us, just be happy with whatever you're doing. Thank you. Thank you so much,
Exactly.
Vasanta, for a wonderful tip. And it was wonderful talking to you. Do visit me when you come to Delhi next time.
I will. You're in Delhi. Okay, sure. I
Yeah.
will do that. Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me in your podcast and wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much. It was really wonderful.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Swati.
Thank you. Bye
Thank you.
bye.